Good evening. I like the way that comes out. Good evening, as in Eve, the mother of all living. Who is the mother? Who is the mother of all dead? Who is the father of all living? Who is the father of all dead? I'm curious. I'm curious. If Eve is the mother of all living, what is Mary? Who is Mary? Why is she contrary? Um, Go check out Myron Golden. He is a wealthy man. The Bible says a good name is rather chosen than riches. I think he has both. And that's the beauty of God. Go check me out on my Instagram, which is Val's Healing Products, all one word, as well as GoAskVal. That's where I've been putting up a ruckus. I don't like the word. I don't like the phrase blowing up, but this is a god of war that likes war, I guess. I don't know. And so I'm here to clarify or declutter war, to remove the fog, the fear of God. God is a loving God. God is a just God. God is a patient God. God, the God of chapter 1 of Genesis, the KJV, is the God that I have come to love and know and understand beyond Jesus, beyond Adam, Eve, the serpent, Lucifer, Beelzebub, all the other names. Beyond all of that, God is God. And I get on this YouTube channel to, touch my bases, if you will, in this game of baseball, this cards game, shell game, wheel game, dig game. And so I'm promoting those that I believe, one, they come up on my screen. So I've given them due diligence and time, my effort, my prayers, my covering, my goodwill, my strength. And I given God a vow, and again, the vow in God is O. Okay. And so O is not just a vowel. An O is a letter of the alphabet. O is also zero in many cases. O is also full circle. And we're shown the earth in a global marble kind of way. But I believe not just for the map sake, but even that. There's something, an anagram or acronym called MAPS. And it's some kind of test. We had one growing up called ITBS, so shows you how young I am. The ITBS to me is bits, if you will, and pieces, bytes. And so maps test, we got the whole plan. But a map is in flatland. A map is on a piece of paper. A globe is a different sphere, if you will. It's a different shape, different geometry. And so you have to know how to deal in both maps and globes. So when people say that the earth is flat, people say the earth is round, it's one of those, you're arguing two different methods or sides of the same coin, or, whatever it is. It's showing the dichotomy and the paradoxes and the quandaries of life. And there's so much in the innuendos, so much in the inferences, so much in the semantics. But when it gets down to it, no one understands and comprehends your life better than you and what you call God. And there's even those that once we get past this point, we come to a place called the atheists, or the other ones, the agnostics. They don't know, one way or the other. They don't make it part of their everyday focus. But for me, who has been called woman of God, for me, who has been a studier of words, the study of the Bible, I have more than my share of Bibles around the house. And again, there's not a moment that goes by that I'm not thinking about how active my life is, how quick the Spirit moves in my life. One minute I'm thinking I'm done, I'm out, I'm leaving everything behind. Another minute, no, I still got time. I'm feeling like the Incredibles, Mr. Incredible. There's time to pack and move and go on to my destiny. The question of my destiny is not a question at all. I've seen so much about God. I see on my screen again, Noelle Randall. She's given a warning. Watch this now. It's live, or it was live 7 days ago. And it's called The Largest Wealth Transfer Just Started. It's 31 minutes and 40 seconds. Go check it out. She's got her mouth stuck wide open on it. She can't believe it. She's prophesying. She's telling the story of stories. The revelations have been opened up. The seals have been opened up. And I'm just here to pry off my own seals. And I believe that's what we're here to do. To open our own envelope and find our name. Or our God. Our Buddhists. Our priest. Whatever it is. Our rib. Our better half. Our other half. Whatever it is. Our sovereignty. Not to edge God out in a negative kind of way, but edge God out in a sense of how is God going to show up today? How is God going to show up in me? How is God going to show out? And so I am one that believes in ESP, not just ESPN, but I believe in extrasensory perceptions. God gave Jesus, being full of all gifts, being all God, all man, was given the Holy Spirit. He was given knowledge. He was given favor with God and man. He waxed with, increase. But I believe there was a time that Jesus gave up those things, those worldly possessions, to prove a point. I believe there were times, again, he didn't tell us to do anything that he had not first experienced. What kind of God, what kind of example would that have been? If he had, I give my acknowledgement, my story, like Superman and Clark Kent. I said, if Jesus were like Clark Kent, what I'm seeing by principle is he did his miracles as a man. He laid down his divinity. He stopped the speeding bullet, as a man with his Clark Kent suit on, not with his Superman tights on. He didn't do it with glory and flash and his Armani suit. No. He did it with carpenter's clothes on, with dickies, with dungarees, with bibs and jumpsuits. That's what he did it in. He did it in carpentry clothes. He did it in fisherman's clothes. You don't show up in a suit. You don't show up with your crown on and your priestly robes like, coming from Zamunda, Louis Vuitton. You don't do that. They see you coming. They take the wheels off. They take the fur off your animals like that. And so I'm here to tell you that you've taken off your fur. You've taken off your preference. And so like Moses, you would rather suffer with the black folk. That was a long season, guys. Let's be honest. That was a long season. 2,000 plus years, God. Jesus said he's going to come back. And he's back like he never left. And so I'm here to stretch your mind, open your mind, your heart, your intuition, and think of Jesus as he's us. Think of him as Zeus. Think of him as the Ancient of Days, the sun itself, the physical sun in the sky that came down as a physical person. And so his footprint is still here. People are still digging and exhuming and archaeologizing and scraping off bones and finding skulls and napkins and linen and axes and wise. And they just, everybody looking for proof, pudding, and, settled once and for all. And I'm here to get my 2 mites, my 2 bits, my ITBS test turning in my stuff a little late, but it's here. I passed my test with flying colors. I have no judgment against anybody, whether your Jesus is light-skinned with abs and a cute little scar on the side, or whether he's been beat to the point of unrecognition, hanging from a tree like a black man, looking like strange fruit, or looking like a little girl sitting on a swing hanging from a tree. They all 3 was hanging from a tree. Or you can go so light and easy as laying on a cooling board while somebody does an operation, and you go into a deep sleep and you wake up and you're resurrected and you're a new creature, you're a new creation. Maybe Jesus was the first sex change. Who knows? But I'm here to help you know how to think, why to think. In the middle of think is ink. Why to use your ink pen. Why I would like for you to stop saying you didn't learn anything in school. Everything is a lie. That's strong. That's strong words. We have to make a better diction for ourselves. There's 3 ways at least to spell anything, even accurately. And so we know the story about the game, quotey fingers, game called rumors, when you start off with a word, a phrase, or a sentence. And so you go around the room, and by the time it comes back 12 o'clock full circle, it's a totally different piece of information. And that's how I see the Bible. That's how I see relationships, and why I believe half of them are jacked up, because we have half of the Bible split in half and halves. And then there's a whole book, Isaiah, with 66 books. And so there's just this repetitive slicing and dicing of choices and decisions. And so Myron Goldman made it clear to me when he talked about decisions versus choices, or choices versus decision. And in the word choice, we have O-I-C-E. That's what we have when you spell out words. C-H. This is a church. Just O-I-C-E. Okay. And then in decision, it goes on. In the word decision, we have I-C. We have D-E-C-I. D-E-C is 10. As in December, even though it's 12th month. Nobody argued that. But a deca, a decimal is 10. And so to decide. He mentioned to cut away. Daryl Coley sung a song. He said he's cutting away everything that's not like him. If we call something a suicide, then it's self-cutting away, cutting yourself off. And so Jesus said, no man takes my life. I lay it down. And so it was a kind of suicide. It was a side of laying down. The knife, I want to say. That's why he told Peter, get the knife out your hand. Get it off. Put the man ear back on. Just stop. It ain't time for that. It ain't time for war. It's time to listen again. It's time to come to the round table. Big I and big U. We all big. We all grand. We all grandiose. Let's use it. May the narc and the empath sit as one. May the yin and the yang be one. The yin yang effect. Not verses, not woe versus Wade. Row and wade. Row your boat and wade in the water. Okay. Let's value our ability to read and to break down words. And if we are lack, we are not lack as men count lackness. We do not perish as men considered perish. We do not cut away and fall away as energy is never destroyed or created. It is what it is. And so we have no fear of the terror. We have no fear of the laws. We have no fear of the bears, the lions, the tigers. We are man, and God is mindful of us. God would not give us a story called John 3:16. He would not give us a story called Plan or Planet Earth. God did not fail to plan. Okay. And so God, being a good author, did not start a story without the end already written, viewed, laughed about, cried about, moaned about, groaned about, repented, edited, cut it away, decided, and all of that before he presented it to you. And whether you read the fine print or not, it's still there. For you all who said that there is no manual, there is no book, I wish there was a book that said it is a book. It's called the KJV, the Bible. It's been inspired. And you can stop at John 3:16. You can stop at Genesis 1. You can stop at the Bible, the bib, the race. To spell backwards and forwards, the El Bib, the drooling gods, the rambling brooks, who will decode the tower of Babylons. Well, I'm here to do it. I'm going to keep this one short because these are going up on my YouTube. Check me out on my Instagram. Then GoAskVal. Check out Val333 Tarot on YouTube. She's got a good word. Some of my tarot friends are religious. Some of them are spiritual. Some of them are just who they are, intuitive. Everybody doesn't wear the labels and the names. Everybody doesn't need a word and a title. But Jesus said before the earth and heaven passed away, not one jot or tittle was going to fail. And the Bible and the world is just that exact. And we know it to be true. Everyone is just trying to find a way to connect it all together. And so I, as Val, your validator, I, as your strength, I, as your hope, your love, your sister, your mother, your friend, your authentic intelligence beyond the phone, beyond the sound. I love you. God loves you. John 3:16 is still our blessed love and hope and promise. And God is not a man that he should lie. He don't have to lay down. He don't have to tell stories. He don't have to make up stuff. It's already made up. It already is what it is. And we've waited for this time for the sons of God. You, and especially V's, Victorious, and all the names that begin with V and W's and X, all the rare names that come out, all the Z's and the elemental P's and the JK's, all of those, just all the alphabet. Just, I love you. And I want you to have a good night. And I want you to share and comment if, I plan on leaving these open or whatever, but I'm right in the middle of a storm, ladies and gentlemen. And people want money. And I haven't liquidated my money yet. So as I build my church on the same rock that Jesus built his on, he said, "Thou art Peter." Why, Peter? I'll be your pet. I'll be your pet. I'll be your companion until Jesus comes back for you and especially you. I just want to tell you, God loves you, so do I. Love yourself, forgive the idea that God has tried to hurt you, harm you, do something to you that you wouldn't be able to appreciate at some point. Look back and be thankful for every disappointment, every rejection, every closed door, every rolled eye, every teeth sucking attitude. You can thank God for it all. Everybody that called you fat, stinky, ugly, skinny, tall, dark, light, handsome, cute, too fine, too pretty to be single, whatever they told you that didn't quite go the right way, or with the right way and went up your head, went up too far, whatever the case may be, you're going to be thankful because we have an advocate. I'm your advocate with the Father. I'm the advocate with the Son. I'm the advocate with those who want to be validated for just who they are. Can you just let me be? Like a Dr. Seuss, just let me be. And I'm here to validate that. Stop the noise. Stop the opinions. And then once we let the dust settle, once we stop eating dirt, we can reason together what you want to do with your life, what gifts you give, and you want to monetize, and because you are the money. You are your money. And that's my ministry, to talk about and to piggyback off of the things that, again, people like Myron Golden says about choice and decision. And so to decide is to take away the sides, if you will, and have a main piece, have an entrepreneur attitude. That I am self-employed, that I'm God-employed, that God put me here in every situation, the planet, the state, the city, the town, the country, the address, everything. And I've taken that on for myself, and it has proven to be exact down to my birth date in my address, not just my current one, my past addresses, something significant. And so I'm here to share that information, but as well as not just stop with me, I'm here to show you that you have some kind of puzzle to be solved in your life. And I'm a kind of detector. I'm a kind of cutting away of the jargon to see what is it that you really want in life. I want an island with people dressed with linen and tan clothes and loose clothing and feeling free and breezy and pineapples and fresh fruit and even roasted pig. I said it. Yeah, it's here. It's for us so that we don't have to kill people. I had a tree to fall, struck by lightning the other day in the yard. And it came close to the house, but it said to me, it's time for me to move forward. I remember a person at a job years ago. She said our hands were tied around this tree, and you know, it was other employees, and God just started coming around and like slapping our hands apart to tell us to stop, just disconnect, stop doing it, stop praying for them, for it, for the situation to get better. Let it go. Stop interceding. Just stop. And that scripture, when God told the prophet, get up, I've already anointed somebody else. Don't just stop crying. Hey, hello, hallelujah. Cha-ching. That's the sign I like. I'm going to go ahead and take this cha-ching. I take that as a confirmation that the trillions are coming, the $1 trillion secrets that are in the Bible, the $1 trillion secrets that are in me, as the gold rush, the AU 1969. My birth date is on the periodic table of elements. I'll tell it everywhere I go to anybody that will listen, even if they don't want to listen. It is me. It is my job. It is my Job. It is my joy. It is my gold. In case I don't get a piece of gold, in case I don't get to California, I've got knowledge that is golden, that my life is golden, that God chose me. Ching, ching, ka-chinga. And I'm choosing you to be on my team. It's not about what you look like. It's not about, God bless America. It's not about how you look and what you're transing to, because I'm transing from a personal agenda to a global agenda. I'm transing from poverty to an individual point of view to a 7.9 billion people point of view. I'm transferring from a $2.1 million attitude to a $2 billion attitude to a $2 trillion attitude. I'm here to say Creflo Dollar had a name worth the holler. Okay, I'm gonna let it go because the battery is low, and I'm gonna address these offer ups because the sacrifice has been made. The transfer has already begun. God bless you, Noel Randall. God bless you, Myron Gibson, and all of those who have graced my YouTube channel. And I will see you all again on the other side.